Greetings travelers, I'm Dennis Foutz and welcome back to Traveling Guru. I'm your host, and every week we take an insider look at travel and tourism, and this week we're going to focus on first-time cruisers. That's right, the top 10 things that you need to consider prior to taking your first cruise. Let's go. Number 1, why are you going? Is it to explore up in Alaska? Is it to party down in the Caribbean? Is it to enjoy your time on that Star Wars themed Disney cruise line? Or is it to rekindle and remember that 50th year anniversary? All these things is important to make sure that your travel specialist and your cruise specialist can get you on the right itinerary to maximize your experience. All right, now that we know why we're going, what type of cabin do we want? There are 4 basic categories for cabins. There are interior cabins, ocean view cabins, balcony cabins, and suite cabins. Now, inside those 4 categories, any cruise specialist that will tell you that this is where having a cruise specialist really pays off. Because ocean view could be an 18-inch porthole, or it could be a floor-to-ceiling open window. It could also be an obstructed balcony, which means you may see a lifeboat right outside your cabin, and that's not why we got a balcony. Junior suites and suites, some can fit 8, and some can fit 2, and there's no balcony. So now we know why we're going, understanding your cabin category, that's really important. Number 3. What's included with your cruise? Just about every cruise line has breakfast, lunch, and dinner already part of your cruise fare. Things now that are not included, which you can ask your travel specialist for before you get there, is the gratuity in your drink packages. Drink packages are very, very specific to the cruise lines. And then understanding that's very important. So ask your travel specialist, your cruise specialist. Ask him, say, hey, on Royal Caribbean or Norwegian or Viking or whatever we're on today, ask him, hey, what is included do I get that drink package? Is my gratuity provided? And if not, hey, you might want to consider doing that before you go so that you just don't have to worry about it. Or you can do it when you get there. Some cruise lines are starting to produce things that also, like the alcohol and their soda drink packages, are beginning in 2018 to be complimentary. Norwegian Cruise Line is definitely looking at this on their sailings to Cuba. Royal Caribbean is talking about doing it in 2018 as well, testing the market in a beta format. Number 4, you need travel insurance. You want to bring your passport. Travel insurance is about protecting your investment. The investment of not just your money, but your time. The plane that gets delayed, the accident that happens maybe before you cruise and now you can't. Protecting that investment is critical. Additionally, if you got hurt underway, or you got hurt on an excursion that you wanted to do, having that there in your back pocket, incredibly useful for you. Passports not required, leaving and returning back to the same port, with exception of Cuba, which we talked about last week, and if you're wanting to take excursions into Canada from an Alaskan cruise. Other than that, it's not required. Your birth certificate's what's required. But imagine the what if scenario, and that's why it kind of fits with the travel insurance. What if you have to go home for some reason, or you get hurt and you can't get back on that ship? Now you may be in a country that you don't have the correct ID to get back home. So things just get a little more complicated. So please, first-time cruisers, okay, number 4, the travel protection, definitely a requirement. Passports, you definitely want to bring them. Number 5, pre- and post-night hotel stays. This is about peace of mind and relaxation. The day before you came in, you stayed at that nice hotel, and you're relaxing. You're thinking about how much fun you're going to have the next day when you get on your cruise. And same thing when you come back, when you're seeing everybody shuffling off and everybody's getting in their taxis or their buses and their Ubers to get back to their airport. You know what? You're just saying, you know what? You already got it coordinated, and you're going to go ahead and just go to the hotel that day. Enjoy the area. Enjoy Miami. Enjoy Orlando. And you're just going to go home the next day nice and easy. Pre and post night hotel stays. Definitely worth the consideration. Number 6, understand your boarding check-in process. Now, your travel specialist, your cruise specialist, will definitely walk you through this and how to check in online, a reminder of what documents you need to bring, and the time that you need to be there. Now, there will be documents that when you go on to the cruise line, you check in, that you will need to bring with you. And it'll have not just your name on there and your cabin, but it'll also have things like your luggage tags, which you will need to affix to your handle so that it gets brought to your room correctly. And then you need to, and also it'll have your cabin number and it'll have your check-in time. This makes sure that when you arrive, it's just seamless to go from your car or from the taxi, just walking right in, and you're just you're flowing in. So if it says show up at 1:30, you show up at 1:30, and you go through the walkthrough just like going into an airport. Number 7, know what to pack. Now, as a cruise specialist, I definitely will provide this to my clients because where they're going changes what to pack. Now, there are no limits to the amount of baggage that you can bring on board a cruise. That being said, it's still only so much room, and you don't want to bring a great deal amount of baggage because you will be the one responsible for them in your room, and you don't want that cluttered feeling when you're in there. So smart packing is important. Having that travel pack list, and there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that tell you how to be creative about how to get your stuff in your bag. But just remember, wherever you're going, your cruise specialist will give you some nice guidelines about where to pack. But just remember that going one place is not necessarily packing like the next place. All right, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, shore excursions. Shore excursions can be booked in 2 different ways. They can be booked with the cruise line directly, or they can be booked by a private excursion company. The 2 major differences are, with the cruise line, you're going to be with imagine people all booking into that one thing, so you may not necessarily know them, but they come guaranteed to be back on time to get underway. On a private with other excursion companies, the more private excursion companies, certainly there for you, and the purpose is for more intimate settings of your friends and family, or maybe just you and your significant other doing that one thing together. So now you can demand that one isolated time with them and just know that it's going to happen. On the inverse is that you don't get the guarantee like you do with the cruise line to be back on time. In other words, the cruise line is not going to wait for you if your short excursion for some reason becomes delayed. So those are the 2 things that you need to consider booking your short excursions, having fun on your cruise. Number 9, what to do in case of an emergency. Now, you will be assigned before you leave port your life raft station, and you will go and muster there where they'll show you how to put on your life preserver. Also, what happens if you, during your cruise, you or your family member get sick? There is a medical team, there's a medical officer who is assigned on board to tend to those things. So if you ever get sick or you get hurt, please go down there and know that someone's there to treat you. And number 10, let's just have fun. Because we've already chosen the right, cruise that's fit for you, the right cabin. You've got the insurance, you've got your passport, you're coming in a day early, you're going to leave a day after. You've got the excursions, you're working through, you work through your gratuity, you've got maybe that drink package or you don't find the value in it, but it's all there for you, and now you're on board. So get your swim trunks on, or get out there. Get to know the rest of the passengers. Trust me, they are kind of maybe in your same category where they don't know anybody either. So go say hi. Don't stay in your cabin unless that's what you're there for. So get out there, enjoy yourself. Oh, and don't forget, every day they're going to have that little sheet of paper in your cabin, and maybe even a really cool towel, and that's going to be dressed like something that's going to tell you what's all going to happen the next day. It's like a plan of the day. And it's just going to roll through all the things, and you're just going to be overwhelmed by all the wonderful things that you can do. That's going to be given to you. The shows, the mixologies, the the food sampling, maybe even some culinary shows that you might be able to participate in, and the family activities, the adults only activities. So as you can tell, the fun is there for you. And don't forget, there's some really late night stuff out there, so get some sleep in between or just keep going all the way through. So let's see. Number 10 is all about let the good times roll. All right. Thank you very much for joining me on our discussion this week on the top 10 things that we need to know before we take that first cruise. If I may be of assistance for you, your family, your group on your next cruise, please feel free. Send me an email or venture out to my website and look around and contact me that way. I'd love to help. Oh, and don't forget, pay me the best compliment. Give me the thumbs up and share our Traveling Tip Tuesday discussion. All right, bye-bye. Safe travels.